In 6.6, we will use what we have learned about factoring to solve quadratic equations. A quadratic equation has an x squared in it. First thing, we need to make sure our equation equals 0. Then we will factor it. We will set each factor equal to 0. Solve and check. This equation's already set up equal to 0, so we can go ahead and factor it. Take care of the first term. Remember, we're looking for two numbers that multiply to give us 24 that will add up to a negative 10. So remember, if this is positive and this is negative, that means we're going to have two negatives in here. So what we're looking for here, we've got 1 times 24, 2 times 12, 3 times 8, 4 times 6. If they're all negative, and then let's combine them. So that would give me a negative 25, negative 14, negative 11, negative 10. This is when we combine. These were the factors. And we do have a winner. So we have factored. Now we want to set each factor equal to 0. X minus 4 equals 0. X minus 6 equals 0. And then solve. On a lot of these, you will have two answers. Sometimes you may have 1. Sometimes you may have 3. But you always want to check them. So let's check the 4 first. So 4 squared minus 10 times 4 plus 24. 16 minus 40. That is a negative 24. And so we get 0 on the left and we had 0 on the right. This matches, so that means my 4 is correct. Let's check the 6. 6 squared minus 10 times 6 plus 24. Zero equals 0. That's what we want everything in this box to match. That lets us know that this is correct. When you enter the answers for my math lab, it will have it set up as x equals, and then they want you to write your answers with a comma in between. This problem is already factored. So just set the factors equal to 0. So there's one of our answers. There's our other. And check. So 0 times 0 plus 6, 0 times 6, that matches, so 0 is correct. -6 on the outside, -6 on the inside. Don't you love multiplying with 0? So easy, and that matches. So my -6 is correct. In this next problem, it's not equal to 0. So the first thing I need to do is rearrange it so that it is. So I have x squared minus 5x minus 36 equals the 0. Something you want to remember here when you're working with equations is if you change sides, like we just went from the right of the equal sign to the left of the equal sign, change signs. I want to factor this now. I want to think about 36. It's negative, and my 5 is negative, so that means my larger number here will have to be the negative. When I combine, do we have a winner? A winner? Yes, we do. We need that -5. So I have +4 minus 9. All of that equals 0. So x plus 4 equals 0, x minus 9 equals 0, x equals a -4, and a +9. In the interest of saving time on our video, I'm not going to check every problem. You've seen the process of how to do that. It will be very helpful to do that before you take a test or when you take a test, so that you're not making silly mistakes and losing points for that. Here I need to FOIL first. So x times x, x times a +8, -3 times x, -3 times a +8. Now I need to move this 3x over. Remember, when I do that, I am subtracting 3x from both sides. So we'll have x squared. Oh, it might be easier to go ahead and combine this first. Let's do that. Plus 5x minus the 24. And we'll go ahead now and subtract that 3x. X squared plus 2x minus 24. We've already done the factors of 24, so I'm not going to do those again. As you do the factoring, you should be able to do some of this in your head. I know that 6 and 4 are 2 numbers apart. This needs to be the plus because the middle term is positive. this needs to be minus so that when I multiply those two, I get a negative 24. X plus 6 equals 0. X minus 4 equals 0. X equals negative 6. And X equals 4. Okay, I hope these haven't been too difficult. The main thing is factoring correctly. So let's do a couple of practice problems. These are going to be different from what we've done so far. So go ahead and pause. Work the problems, and then unpause and check your answers. Okay, I went ahead and did all the work. So you're seeing everything at once. You should be able to follow step by step going down. Here, when you have a number outside as your GCF, it doesn't equal 0. So when you have a number as a GCF, you're not going to have a third answer, only if we had factored out another variable. So if this had been x cubed and x squared and we pulled out an x, then we would have another answer. All right, good luck.